One thing I don't want to happen is for all of us to start operating out of fear. Guys, I want you to operate out of the desire to truly change and learn about your circumstances. As you can see, a lot of folks these days, from news outlets, media, even regular folks, even fellow YouTuber folks, everyone is monetizing your fear right now. I need you to wake up. I need you to be aware, and I need you to grow and use discernment about how you can avoid being in this fearful state and being in these fearful situations, whether it is due to financial or just the way that the world and the government is working all around. Don't operate out of fear, guys. Fear has its place. It has its position. Use it as a springboard to a different place. Use it as a springboard to a different starting foundation, but do not operate everything out of fear. You need to be tactful. You need to be tactical. You need to be sure that you are preparing yourself correctly for whatever may come in this life that we're trying, at least the best that we can. We can never foolproof any situation, but one thing I don't like is this scarcity mindset and this fear that's so rampant right now, all over the social media, all over the news. They're constantly using fear as a cage. They're constantly using fear as a way to control you. Some people say that this fear is supposed to, make you more aware or awake you. I'm not seeing it like that right now. I'm seeing folks monetize disaster. I'm seeing folks monetize the issues, the dramas. And one could say that that's just life, right? But that's why I always run my channel the way that I do, guys. There is always a way out of a situation most times. Sometimes there are just hard situations. But you have to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, because if you don't, you'll never exactly move forward. I love the fact that folks are trying to wake up and that folks are trying to fight against the system in any ways that they can by being more self-sufficient and being more self-aware of the decisions and the monetary decisions that they're making. I love it. I love the fact that people are waking up to a lot of the scams. They're waking up to all of these financial myths. They're waking up to all of the psychological barriers that they've been placing in our lives to keep us chained, to keep us pushed down, to keep us ignorant. I love the new wave of content that's trying to expose some of these damaging and destructive habits that we've cultivated in our society. But at the same time, with anything, there always has to be a good balance. Balance is the key to everything. You can never have too much of a good thing, because eventually it becomes a thing that do you in. So balance is just so important and key right now. And even though I believe those channels are trying to be, liberators of sorts, you got to watch your message. You got to watch everything that you're putting out there, because the more that you're putting out there, the more that you only become known for that thing. So guys, don't let anyone, a media entity, individuals, don't let them monetize your fear. People operate out of fear because they're scared. Most of the times you're in a weakened state when you're fearful. What I want you guys to all start doing from now on is to take back your courage, be brave, be strong, be wise, seek wise counsel, seek knowledge. I don't just mean this generally just so that you can have a status or a title or look cooler than what you are. I mean this for your own individual journey. Seek the things that will help you increase decrease your ignorance in that area. Finances is a big thing we talk about here on my channel. And if you are just blatantly and honestly ignorant, there's nothing wrong with being ignorant, guys. There's nothing wrong with being ignorant. The only cure to ignorance is to actually seek growth in that area. That's all you can do. We're all ignorant to everything to a degree. I just want you guys to stay aware, man. I don't want there to be this huge cloud over everything that we do. People are just like, man, the economy's bad. People are quitting. People are being laid off. You can't find jobs. It's hard. I'm broke. I'm living in debt. I'm living in savings. All of these things are true, and I see it. It is scary to a degree. But you cannot stay there. The only way to evoke change is to continue to take one step in front of the other. That's all we can do. So if you're broke today, figure out how to be less broke tomorrow, or figure out how to not be broke in the future. You've got to start taking the steps in order to make things better. For me, I'm not all into this doom and gloom, man. Like, because if you stay in doom and gloom, there's no way you will ever rise enough to change. And while I do love a lot of my fellow content creators, nobody in particular that I'm thinking about, I'm just thinking about all the thumbnails I be seeing and all the trauma headlines. I call it, you know, I can't call it what I want to call it, but the trauma headlines and the trauma fetish and the, you know, disaster fetish. And, you know, everybody just has a lot of things they like to trigger people on. And while I think that we should call action to these things, I also want you, the viewer, to not be fooled. I also want you, the viewer, to be aware that people make money off of your fear. People are gaining monetary value of your scarcity, your mindset. Don't just be anyone else's piggy bank. We always talk about the corporations and the companies, but you got to look out for individuals too, especially as the world is collapsing and the economy is failing. You need to be aware of every situation right now. But first and foremost, in order to create the change that you're looking for, man, you're going to have to be brave about your situation. You're going to have to do some things that individuals are going to look at you. They're going to think you're crazy. They're going to think you're outside the box. But if it's making your financial future better, then you do what you have to do. If you have to sell that extra car that you bought for status, hey, get rid of that car. No matter what anybody who knows you say, only you know what's best for you in your situation. Let's get rid of this fear. Let's hunger for change. Let's hunger for knowledge. Let's hunger for growth. If you are in a situation that you don't like right now, be hungry to figure out what was the cause of this ignorance. How do we as a country move forward if fear is the only measuring stick? Excuse me. So, yeah, guys, I want us to continue to go outside, go take a walk, man. Go take a walk. Sit back down with a blank sheet of paper, figure out your situation if you're in that situation, figure out what preparedness that you can do for you and your family and your spouse. It is getting crazy out here, but I just wanted to offer you a little bit of hope, man. Operate out of knowing that you can make things better, at least for your own individual situation. Maybe we can't save the world, but man, we can save those in our world, maybe. Who knows? But one thing I do know is waking up every day with fear on your mind, I don't know how far you're going to get. I have no idea how far you're going to get with that. So use my channel as a springboard for motivation if you need it, for inspiration. I'm always going to come to you guys with these things because I believe in the Most High, and we were not made to just live in fear. We were made to prosper. We were made to grow. We were made to just continue to lift each other up. And that's what I'm going to keep doing with every single video. God bless y'all, and thank y'all for watching the channel.